good afternoon to you. You're just in time for NEWSFEED here on TV47. Remember, you can interact with us at TV47 Kenya across all social media platforms. I am MURANG'A. Starting off, tomorrow's KIAMBAA and MUGUGA ward by-elections, and it's all systems go for the elections scheduled for Thursday, with the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission (IEBC) already assuring that all election materials are in place, ready for the D-Day. For more on this, we are joined by our reporter Maina. Maina, where are you and what is happening on the ground as of the moment?
Maina, we are coming to you live from MUGUGA in MUGUGA ward of Kabeta constituency. Remember, tomorrow residents of MUGUGA ward are going to the polls to elect their next member of county assembly in the Kiambu County Assembly, following the demise of Ngugi, who was the former MCA here earlier this year. Maybe to bring you to speed on what is happening around here, we have 4 candidates who are vying, or rather who are vying for the CAW position here in MUGUGA. We are having 4 parties. We have the Jubilee Party, we have the United Democratic Alliance UDA, and we are having That Way Alliance as well as People's Party. So the 4 candidates will be yearning for the 18,000 registered voters here in MUGUGA ward. Also, we are having 29 polling stations within this ward of MUGUGA. So Maina, residents here will start streaming into the different polling stations here at MUGUGA Wagatonye Secondary School is the main tallying center for this by-election. So tomorrow what will happen at exactly 6 a.m. in the crack of dawn, residents of MUGUGA ward will be heading to the different polling stations to vote for their preferred candidate out of the 4 candidates that are vying for this position. As I have said, Maina, at 6 a.m. the polling stations will be opened and will be closed at 5 p.m. And we're speaking to the returning officer who will be announcing the results from this main tallying center. Has said that any time that will be lost tomorrow will be recovered. So say that a certain polling station out of the 29 polling stations, say one opened at 6:20, so means that 20 minutes were lost. So instead of closing at 5 p.m. so the polling station will be closed at 5:20 p.m. to recover the lost 20 minutes. So Maina, what will happen tomorrow after the voting process has been completed at 5 p.m. The tallying clerks together with the presiding officer will now go to the next process of tallying the votes, and the votes, once they will be tallied here at the polling station, and the polling station is final, and so they will be in the different polling stations will be brought here to the main tallying center. So Maina, that is all for MUGUGA ward by-election that will be happening tomorrow from 6 a.m. to around 5 p.m. And now turning to KIAMBAA constituency, remember it is a highly staked election with 8 candidates lined up for the slightly 96,000 registered voters in KIAMBAA constituency. Remember, people are saying it is a 2-horse race between the Jubilee candidate Kareri Njama Karanja and UDA's party candidate Njogona Wawajiko, or rather Kawajiko. So tomorrow also the residents of KIAMBAA constituency will be heading to the polls from 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. The returning officer in KIAMBAA constituency has also stated that any time that is lost will be recovered. And Maina, still keeping you abreast on what is happening in KIAMBAA. We are having 154 polling stations, and the main tallying center will be at Karori High School in Banana, that is in KIAMBAA constituency. So it is expected that after the tallying of votes at the polling station, which will be the final tally at the polling stations, the presiding officers together with the counting clerks will head to the main tallying center at Karori High School, having duly filled Form 34A. That Form 34A will have to be signed by every agent of every aspirant out of the 8 aspirants at the KIAMBAA constituency. So Maina, something that is interesting, what we have seen in other in other by-elections, we have been having super agents in the name of members of parliament. So you say Jubilee has a super agent who is a member of parliament. UDA has a super agent who is a member of parliament. In KIAMBAA constituency, that will not be the situation. Only one chief agent of every aspirant will be allowed at the main tallying center at the Karuri High School. And Muthoni Maina, just to keep you abreast again, is to tell you that security has been beefed up at KIAMBAA constituency as well as MUGUGA constituency. And as you can see behind me is a contingent of police officers. If my camera person can be able to pan all the way and show you a contingent of police officers who are now receiving the brief of what they are supposed to do tomorrow during the by-elections. And maybe to tell you and to inform our viewer that police officers who will be in the different polling stations will not be under the county commander, will be under the returning officer. They will be receiving orders from the returning officer. Something interesting to note that the returning officer at KIAMBAA and MUGUGA has said that if a presiding officer calls a police officer to say that somebody should be thrown out of the polling station, then that is what will happen. Muthoni Maina, just to let you know that a polling station will be covering 400 meters. And so once a voter casts their vote, they are expected to keep a distance of 400 meters from the polling station. That is the latest brief from MUGUGA Wagatonye High School in MUGUGA ward of Kabete constituency, where residents of MUGUGA ward will be going to the polls tomorrow to elect a new member of county assembly of the Kiambu County Assembly following the demise of Eliud Ngugi, the former MCA of MUGUGA ward in Kiambu County. Back to in studio, Muthoni Maina.
Mwangi Maina for keeping us up with what is happening on the ground at the moment, as tomorrow it is all systems go in KIAMBAA and MUGUGA ward as well. There is a 2-horse power race there in KIAMBAA tomorrow, and definitely Mwangi Maina has told us that security has been beefed up in both wards. Thank you so much, Mwangi Maina, for that report. Now, on to Migori insecurity, where the residents of Kakrao village in Suna East sub-county, Migori County, have expressed fears over their security after a series of incidents that have left them in shock. The residents say that the area leadership led by ward member of County Assembly George Owiti and the area chief Wilfred Ogola have not addressed the rising cases of murder that are witnessed almost every week. They were speaking to the press during the burial service of the slain teacher Kevin Owor, who was found murdered 1 week ago near his home during the curfew hours. At least 10 lives have been lost so far.
Lakini unapata kwamba security haiwezi patikana kwa ajili ya kwamba kile kidogo wamepata wanakuja wanalemewa, wananyang'anywa, wanauawa. Kama huyu Kevin ambaye ameuawa hapa ni kwa sababu serikali itupi security ya kutosha.
MCA of Kakrao ward is George Owiti. Since this incident occurred, we haven't seen him on the ground. We haven't seen him address. We haven't heard of him address this issue of insecurity. Even at the time of this burial, we're not seeing him around here. We don't know what's going on.
Our heartfelt condolences to those affected. Now on to Wajir, where the Governor Ahmed Ali Mukhtar, among other leaders in the county, have condemned the killings at the border of Wajir and Isiolo. The county leadership called on locals to desist from violence against their neighbors. Several police have been killed at the borders in the past few weeks, mainly on chaotic grazing fields.
We condemn together with the Mheshimiwa the senseless killings that happen year in, year out in our borders with Isiolo. It is unfortunate that we lost a life this morning just because of small disputes that can be solved.
I have been unable to get the leadership of Isiolo on the table so that we can negotiate and finish this matter. I want to demand from government, because security is a function of government, to force the leadership of Isiolo into the table of negotiation so that we discuss the issues that are underlying in this conflict. I want today to be the last day I am going to bury someone who has been killed for no reason, because it is really painful.
Ile maneno hiko ni ya kuwa kila siku tunasikia watu wa nomads wanauana, pastoralists wanauana, Waislamu wanauana, Wasomali wanauana, Somali na Borana wanauana. Hiyo hapana kitu mzuri na sio tabia mzuri. Na waomba wa ndugu zangu kutoka Isiolo, tafadhalini tukutane kama sisi watu wa Wajir na watu Isiolo, tujaribu tusuluhishe hiyo maneno.
Now on to NYANDARUA, where the county government has launched a mass biometric registration drive for the National Hospital Insurance Fund (NHIF) health scheme in the county. According to NYANDARUA Deputy Governor CECILIA, the county-wide campaign is also aimed at helping the already registered members to update their membership through the biometric registration that will ensure that the NHIF insurance is simpler and more accessible to all citizens. The county administration was paying the NHIF cover for about 15,000 vulnerable households.
For NHIF, the county government has a program to support over 15,000 needy people to enroll with NHIF. This program started a while ago, so this is like the second time we are enrolling. I say that we are reaching more than 15,000 people, because if you are a head of a household, you are supporting yourself and also your dependents. We have selected those people, were given a certain criteria. We are looking at whether they have chronic illness like diabetes, cancer, HIV, and arthritis, such. We are looking at the elderly, we are looking at the disabled, we are looking at the poverty levels, whether somebody can be able to pay that card for themselves, and that is how we have selected that number of people.
Seen what a visionary leader can do to his people, especially ensuring that their well-being as far as health is concerned. So we are here for this week. We started yesterday. We will be here up to Saturday. We are spread into 6 sites in all the 5 sub-counties. And we want to thank the government of NYANDARUA because they've managed to mobilize people. The first day we managed to register over 6,000 people. And today I believe the numbers will be high. What we are doing, we are registering everybody in NYANDARUA biometrically because we are phasing out the old system where people used to use the physical cards.
Serikali itaweza kushughulikia familia kama milioni 1 wale ambao hawezi kulipa hiyo. Na hata kwa hii nyingine 6,000 haitoshi, so serikali pia itafanya top up. Serikali ya national pamoja na county government.
Now, moving on, learning in NANDIKA Primary School in BUMULA sub-county in Bungoma County has been disrupted after angry parents blocked the head teacher from accessing his office on allegations of incompetence. The parents claim that the school's facilities have deteriorated under head teacher's Ndamwe Wamalua's watch. The parents are calling for Wamalua's sacking, alleging that he has actively blocked their move to establish a secondary school in the area. However, Wamalua, on his defense, says that he is performing his duties as expected.
Shilingi 1,400. Tukakuwa na MCA mwenye alikuwa akatupea shilingi 1,000,000. Walikaa na cheki ka expire na mtu alitupea shamba ya kujenga secondary school. Wakachukua sign post wakaweka hapo. Wakaweka na mjengo mwingine yachaisha. Hizo cheki wakashindwa kurejea school, cheki ikarudi. Ikapounce wakapeleka mahali kwingine. Achui ilienda Karisa ama ilienda Somali.
Hakika machozi meharibika sana. Na anasema yeye ni mtu wa kupenda maendeleo. Tumeonyesha watu wetu wa media wameenda kuzichukua. Hakika hizo choo hasifai. Maana zimepasuka nyufa mpaka hata watoto kuenda ndani ni uoga. Sisi wasasi tumeenda pale. Hakika tumejionea maneno. Kwa hivyo huyu mwalimu hakika atoke na watupe mwalimu mwingine ambaye atatusaidia kuinua shule yetu na community yetu.
Walifunga afisi, wangezungumza nami kwanza kama walikuwa na shida. Imefungwa, nisungumuze. And indicated there is no office in operation within Nandika. And that is an indicator there is no head within Nandika. Thank you, sir.
Now that story takes us for a short break. We will be right back with more. Do stay with us.
Why crocodile inaweza tokea juu. Hiyo sijakula hata unataka nikufe kabla ni. I don't like it. I don't. Miss Kai na hipo ikitokelezea ivuruche simu yangu. No, ni sawa. Those who know me will tell you I'm not a lover of large volumes of water. But for you, we rove the different parts of the country and beyond just to make sure that we bring you the experience. We educate you, we entertain you, and we inform you.
That it's not political and it can do something.
As we sail the boat of Morning Cafe to enlighten you, entertain you, and inform you every Monday to Friday, only on TV 47.
Woo. Construction can be quite a task, but how do you move from finding your piece of land, sourcing the right materials, getting the right labor force to put up your building? Or better yet, how do you source for a building that's already built?
Just a small size of land can suit just a big maisonette because you are going high.
How do you ensure you get the right finishes to bring out the aesthetic value of your property and make it not only look good, but also feel good?
The buyers in this area are the buyers who are able to pay cash.
Well, we have it right here on The Realtor on TV 47, where we demystify building right here in Kenya and analyze the property industry for you to take advantage when acquiring your next piece of property.
Every February, we hear men joking about going to a men's conference on Valentine's Day. We laugh about it, the lucky ones end up having a decent Valentine's Day, and we move on. But what we do not know is that men actually do meet up. Men do sit down and have conversations about things that affect their day-to-day life.
Let me ask, does money make the man?
Give them the gifts, shower them with everything you want to shower them with, but keep your money to yourself.
I, for one, have always been curious as to what goes on in a man's mind, specifically an alpha male's mind.
Adam, yule kwa Biblia anasema ni mtu wa kwanza duniani. Wewe unadhani kama angekuwa hana yale matunda, hana ile garden yake pale ya kukaa, angekuwa tu ni mdomo tu anamfuata Hawa. Oya, mimi ni Adam.
Welcome to the men's conference, where we make men alpha males. My name is Archie, the only female allowed at the conference.
My name is Monica Nyashira Njogona. I am a wife and a mother of 3, and I am a crochet ambassador. This began some years ago when I could not find a white-collar job. I had done a course in IT. I looked for jobs everywhere and I could not.
Barred the DCI and the Inspector General of Police from arresting or prosecuting LSK President Nelson HAVI for allegedly assaulting suspended CEO Mercy Wambua. Justice WAJIR-ISIOLO has issued the conservatory orders restraining the state from further arrests or prosecution of the applicant for alleged offences connected with allegations made by Mercy Wambua. This is after HAVI's lawyer Brian KIAMBAA moved to court on Tuesday afternoon and sought orders barring the DPP, IG and DCI from arresting or prosecuting the LSK boss. HAVI, who was arrested yesterday and later released on a 10,000 Kenya shillings police bond and was directed to appear in court to take the plea of assault.
We were always ready to proceed with the case. The DPP did not present the court file, and therefore our client could not be presented or charged before court today. We are informally told that the consent to charge Mr. Nelson HAVI, our client, has not been granted by the ODPP, so we cannot do anything. We will wait for that consent to be given, and we are ready to face the charges in court. That will be all. Thank you. This is to ask the prosecution authorities and it's a very serious concern for us as Kenyans. If the president of the Law Society of Kenya can be dealt with in such an unprocedural and illegal manner, how then can we assure ordinary Kenyans of their rights under the Constitution? Because the Constitution is expressed. Before you go and arrest somebody, the evidence should have been collected, so that when you arrest him, you present him for purposes of continuing with the prosecution.
Now on to demos as chaos ensued at the Kenyatta National Hospital after UN medical students took to the streets to demonstrate against an absurd school fee increment. Transport was paralyzed for a few hours as the students held the protests.
Wanashika fungua bwana. Leo ndio tarehe.
Now, those are the demos that are ensuing right there at the Kenyatta National Hospital after UN medical students took to the streets to demonstrate against an absurd school fee increment. We're definitely following up on that, and we will have a much more detailed report on that story later on in the other subsequent bulletins. Now, moving on, MURANG'A residents have decried delayed delivery of services at the County Lands Registry in MURANG'A town. The residents have said that they are forced to wait for years to get services that previously took only a few days. Nefat Miner, the chairperson of the Nyumba Kumi initiative in MURANG'A town, says locals are fed up with the frustrations they go through in the registry, where he appealed to investigative agencies to establish the cause of the delays and ensure officers responsible for the gridlock of services are held accountable. They allegedly claim that at times they are forced to pay up to 2,000 to brokers for services such as land search that could be free.
Serikali tuondolee hii mabroka ambayo wako hapa, ambayo wanasumbua watu hapa kwa rati. Sababu hama mabroka wakiona watu wakitoka huko reserve vijijini wanawasumbua sana, wakitaka te wapatiwe kitu kidogo ili watolewe. Na wengine wanapeleka watu kwa online. Mwafisi hapa area rad. Ofisi ni nyingi sana za cyber ziko na online, na huko ndio watu wanaelekezwa. Na kuna wakati mwingine tulikuwa tumepiga ripoti kama miaka 3 iliyopita na hiyo mambo ilikuwa imeisha, lakini sasa imerudi.
Hapa hata mimi niko na title mingi zinagoja kutoka, hazijaipatikana, zimekwama huku. Mpaka project zingine tulikuwa tuanzishe ziajiri vijana, haziwezi fanyika kwa sababu title zimeshikwa hapa na ofisi ya lands. Tunaomba serikali, corona isijui mko wapi, ofisi ya DCI ya EACC kujeni mchunguze hiyo ofisi, ndio huduma zianze kufikia wananchi na ndio serikali pia iweze kupata kodi, at least ianze kufufua uchumi.
Niko karibu kumaliza mwaka nikitaka kujua majina ya wenye walinifugia nini shamba, ndio tuongee na wao, nipatie my sister aliyeachiwa nimpe shamba na sijawajua. Na huyo sister yangu haedagi na miguu. Babangu alisema nimpatie shamba, hata wa leo sijampea. Sasa nasikiaga machugu sana nikikuja huku kwa radi, nikitafuta hiyo majina na abiagwa bado. Sasa ni
Now let's